Bortle here at the 2024 Austin, Texas NAWCQ national event. My goodness, with whoa, please introduce yourself to the world.
My name's Aaron Williams. I topped with Memento Fiendsmith.
Oh, what made you decide to play this deck for the event?
I felt like it was super slept on. Me and him actually worked on the list together. We played the same exact list. Yeah, I just think it's super slept on, and I think it's like up there with like Yubel Fiendsmith. I mean, I think it's crazy.
Awesome. So both of y'all used the deck for the event?
Yes. Yeah, I did obviously way less good than my man here, but yeah, like nobody knows what the cards do, so you know people over prepare for Snake Eye Yubel and Fiendsmith Yubel, and then you hit them with they have to read every single card in the entire deck. They interact normally, at least personally, they interacted extremely poorly. Yeah. And so yeah, and the inboard is just crazy. Yeah, basically unbreakable. So
nice. Before we jump into the deck profile, any shout outs?
Sure. Shout out to Andrew, obviously, for helping me with the deck. Shout out to Wes, Tyler, my rides here. Shout out to the whole Birmingham peeps. Everybody. I could go on all day.
Sweat Court's pretty good.
Sweat Court's pretty good. Shout out to my awesome girlfriend for being very chill about me doing all this. And yeah, I could keep going, but that should be good. That should be good.
Without further ado, please take a look at the top 64 goons.
Awesome. All right, first you start out with the main starters. 3 Darkblade, 3 Anguich, and 3 Tatsuno Toshigo. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
What's the English name?
Horse.
Horse. We call it horse.
No, this is English.
Yeah, that is the English name. Yeah, these are your like best starters. You can also like start with Goblin as well, but like these are your main ones that you want to open in your hand. This one could pop 1, summon a level 3 or lower from your deck. This one on summon searches for a Memento monster. This one, it's so hard to explain what this does, but basically, on the field, when you activate the effect, you pop a Memento monster and then send Memento monsters from your deck to the graveyard with an equal or less level than the monster you popped. And that could be like multiple monsters. So if you pop this, a level 5, you can send like 2 2s and like another 2 for like 4. And then yeah, so you can send like 3 at once, for example.
And when all these cards mention popping, they all pop on res. So there's no like costs associated with any of these effects, which is super important when it comes to like some of the later cards and dodging.
And dodging stuff. Exactly.
And also the entire point of the deck is to go through basically all your monsters once each. So like if you open with this, you can like use this to pop to summon this from deck, and then this will normally search this, and then this will then get you into the other cards in your deck, and you want to do that. You want to rinse and repeat basically every single turn.
You definitely want to get through all your names for the big guy. That we'll get to later. But yeah, those are the main starters.
And this card can pop Di-Fi. That's pretty cool.
Yes, it also has like an MST effect for some reason.
Yeah, they all have secret text on them.
And then we got the one-ofs. We play a lot of one-ofs. Goblin, Mace, Gaddock, Sleepy. We might even run out of room. We'll just start with these first. So this one pops 2, sends 2, searches 1 after it pops. This one's funky. It like when it's sent to grave, it can summon itself back and then add 1 back from grave. And this is the new one. This card's insane. Really what the deck needed. Whenever anything in your possession has been destroyed this turn, you can just summon it from your hand and fusion summon on summon. So yeah, it's insane. Like, and it's just,
if it's popped, you get the foolish one. So a lot of the times, your like more funky combos involves you like popping this to then foolish this, which then lets you add back resources. And it's this card specifically lets you play under Droll really well.
Yes. Some of your best hands are when you get to play around Droll. You need to see this card basically.
And this card lets you change a heart if you control the big guy.
Oh yeah, it's a quick effect.
A light fairy, which will come up for some of our other things.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
So yeah, those are the random little guys, and then 2 of the other big guys. This one is kind of a brick, but it's still like really crazy. It's kind of an extender, and you kind of need that sometimes, especially for like the Fiendsmith combos. This guy is obviously the main man, the man, the myth, the legend. He's insane. He's got a lot of techs going on. I can't tell you how many times I won from like, this is basically Ultimate Conductor Tyranno if it's the only monster I control, so it can attack all your guys, all their guys. And then Bone Party, which is one of the quick play spells, can give this piercing. So like Snake Eye, if they like Flamberge, bring back a bunch of little dudes, you can just kill them.
Yeah,
I mean, you just kill them.
It's 5k, 5k. Like the card is ginormous.
Yeah.
And this card pops cards when it's destroyed.
Yeah, when it's destroyed, it's basically Icarus attack, which is really good.
It's like the rogue killer. It should be like Runic Stun or whatever other like pretty terrible decks that you play against. This card brings a card back on res. Like it's like a Fenrir timing. Brings a card back, which is super important because you want to leave Witch in your grave for your combos, and so you can Witch, add the Snatch Steal back to your hand, or add Sheep to your hand, and then you get to like really combo on their turn.
Yeah.
It's
a very interactive.
I think it's like Prank Kids, but he disagrees.
It's a very interactive deck. Very, very interactive. Does a lot of stuff.
Sorry. You can only summon this by shuffling back 5 different guys, not once per turn.
Yes, not once per turn.
Yeah, and it doesn't activate.
Yes. And then of course, what's probably in every single top deck over there in 64 right now, the Fiendsmith cards. I mean, these cards are crazy. I think before Aerial Eater, I don't think there's a ton of synergy between these two like archetypes. But with Aerial Eater, it turns this into a 1-card combo, full Memento Fiendsmith combo. And it just like also helps you play through interaction. And just like can protect all your plays from like before you commit to your big guy. So you have to like basically force them to nib you before they really want to. These cards are crazy. I shouldn't have to explain them. They're very crazy.
Normally in your combo, you go halfway through your Memento combo, and then you bridge into this, and then you force a Caesar. And we also play a very, very cool card in the extra deck that is like basically only facilitated by these cards, at least efficiently.
Yes. And then we got the spells. We got 1 of the field spell, and then 3 of the Bone Party, and then 3 of the fusion. So this card's got a lot going on. It's very, very good. It's kind of a brick to see, sort of. But these, the quick play spells, they're out of this world. I feel like if I see these cards and like a starter in my hand, I can play through basically anything. Especially like a lot of people will just like throw like their first interaction, you know what I have, because Anguish searches a card and stuff like that, and you can just like pop it, keep going. There's just a lot of ways to play through interaction, and that's kind of why we wanted to like cut down on like the main deck size. We're playing 42 cards because we usually want to see these cards. We want to see these cards or Fiendsmith or both, ideally. Before Fiendsmith, I think that you kind of really wanted to play 40 because if you don't see one of these cards, you get like impermed once and you could very well lose. But because of the Fiendsmith, you actually have ways to like extend that's not an engine. This card can be used on the opponent's turn. That's pretty relevant. This card's follow-up. This card lets you like, these both let you dodge imperm. It's basically emergency.
Yeah, this is emergency. This is just a quick play fusion. And if you've popped a monster this turn, you can fusion by shuffling back cards from the graveyard as well. So it lets you like be like, you could basically like, at least personally for me, there were times where I would have like literally 0 cards except for this, and like I'd grind out my opponent, and then I slam one of these and I take over a game. It's very like, all you really want to do is stick one of these and you have a very good chance, I would say.
Agreed. Very good.
Oh, and the field spell is very important
for the next card. So this during the end phase can set a spell or trap from your graveyard, and you're almost always setting this guy. This thing is insane. Everybody had to read it all day, and they're like, it's only once per chain? Like this is Appaloosa. This is Appaloosa. So when you stick the big guy on field, the big 5k guy, when they activate a monster effect on the field, you can target your big guy, make it lose 1,000 attack, and then negate the effect once per chain. So you can keep doing that. You can do it 5 times, basically. And when you have that and Appaloosa, and Caesar. Like just it's just
Or-
so much to
or
deal
Herald,
with.
it's-
Or Herald.
And the secret text on this card, which I don't think anybody ever played around the entire weekend, is they have to attack the Memento monster with the highest attack. So it's like Nightmare Pain. They're forced to attack it, which means you can end on like IP and Herald and SP, and they
they're
have
safe.
to attack the big guy.
Yeah, I had like at least 3 people try to go to battle phase to hit over like an Appaloosa or an IP, and I'm like, you gotta attack the big guy.
And you know, the plan is that you do this 5 times or whatever, and then on your turn you reset the big guy, and then you have 5 more negates again. And this plays around talents and everything. The card's literally crazy.
Yeah, I would always prioritize using this first because it just shuts people down. And it plays around talents. It's just an insane card.
Even this deck's mediocre inboards can solo most decks by itself, even without Fiendsmith cards.
And then with the non-engine, we got 3 Nib. I mean, it's kind of standard stuff. 3 Ash, 3 Veiler, and then 3 Imperm as well. I feel like I don't have to explain these very much. And then we were also playing 2 Crow. I literally did not see those the entire time. I didn't see my crows the entire time. I couldn't tell you if they were good or not. Were they good?
Yeah, they were pretty good. You snipe stuff like Fiendsmith. There were some other like corner cases. Really, I just felt like it would be irresponsible if we just played 12. So like playing 42 with the math, you have like a 56, I think, % chance to see 2 hand traps. And our deck is like a 1-card combo deck. We can play really, really well under one or like if we have 2 pieces of engine, we can play. So we can afford to like open like 3 hand traps plus 2 engine, and as long as it's not like the cards that we pointed out before, that like these cards are terrible to draw, you should be able to break up a board. I mean, like a mid board with like SP or something else.
Yeah, agreed.
So
I did always side these out for Bestials, which I'm playing in my side deck. So that's probably why I never saw them usually. But again,
I played in another event today. I took these cards out of my deck. I would main deck Droll over this card 100%.
Sweet. Extra?
Yes. Let's get on in there. The Memento Fusions, these are actually the only Memento extra deck cards we play. One of Twin Dragon. So basically, when it's fusion summoned, it can destroy a Memento from hand or field and search 2 Memento monsters. And then when it's destroyed, summon a level 6 or lower Memento from your graveyard. So you just get a ton of advantage off of this guy. It's insane. And if you have field spell up too, like you can also reborn off of that. I mean, it just gets out of this world.
I don't think you ever lose if you really resolve this card.
Yeah, and like people will imperm it, and like that's all right. But then like usually when you're summoning this, I feel like a lot of the time you're activating Memento Fusion, and that has the graveyard effect, and it can pop this, trigger the graveyard revival effect, and you get to search another spell.
Memento Fusion lets you banish itself from grave to pop, and then you pop a monster to search for any Memento spell or trap, which includes itself.
Yeah,
so like if you Memento Fusion into this and then negate it, you can like pop this, search another fusion or bound party, and then reborn off of this to like basically keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
And all you want to do is end on the continuous trap plus big guy, and that's really hard for decks to beat.
Yeah. This card is also like insane. This is one of the new cards as well. So it takes 3 Memento monsters, sends 3 from deck or extra deck to the graveyard on summon, and it can send itself, which is important because you almost always do that because it can banish itself from grave to search for the field spell, which is how you set up all that stuff. And then also as a quick effect, it just has this too. I can target any number of Memento monsters I control and cards my opponent controls and destroy them, which is nuts because it triggers just a whole bunch of things on your end too. It's just insane.
Yeah. And when you're shuffling back your guys, you always want to put back these guys because they're super, super important.
Yeah, and it's so easy to do it. But you play 2 of this because you can send itself, and it's just...
We played 3 before Fiendsmith, but now I think 2 of it is perfectly fine. You have to play smart.
Yeah, exactly. And then, of course, the Fiendsmith package. We're also playing this, which is not what everybody plays, but this is what turns your Fiendsmith Engraver into a 1-card combo for full Memento combo. You send Gaddock, and then I'll actually go ahead and...
send Goblin.
Oh, sorry, yes, Goblin. And then you link into Cross Sheep, and you can bring this back off of its own effect by banishing this and another Fiendsmith. Summon it under here, you bring back your Goblin, and you go full combo.
Yeah, so you have Appaloosa for 3, and then you normal summon your first monster, and it's pretty much game.
Yeah. It's very, very, very good. But I feel like I don't have to explain these cards. These are very good.
Oh yeah, we also stay activating the Link 2 effect, the secret text of the Closed Sky card.
Oh, yes.
I could play a Link 5 in my deck, who knows?
All right, and then some of the inboard pieces. We got Caesar, because we're playing Fiendsmith cards. Herald, which, we'll go ahead and explain this. So this is also part of like some Fiendsmith combos where you can link away basically a Lurie and the sequence, the Link 2, and they're both the same type of attribute, and you make this, and Mace is a fairy. So this turns that into a spell trap negate, and it's just very good.
A lot of the times the only cards you lose to are like breakers, so being able to end on this, and you can add back the Mace. It's not like you're trading one of them for the other one.
It's very easily searchable.
Like normally the inboard is these two plus the continuous trap plus big guy, and that's all off of one card. It's super easy to do. You weren't playing this until recently. Right?
I was definitely sold on it.
Like once you see it one time, like I feel like this is just like 100%.
Yeah, it just feels like the way to go.
And it's not like the extra deck has to have cards in it anyway. It's pretty flexible.
And then IPSP. I mean,
cards are pretty good.
Apo. And then the last thing we play is actually Azalea, and this actually came up a few times for me today. It's important because with your horse, specifically, the Tatsunoko Shigo, you have to control only Memento monsters or no monsters. So sometimes the reason, like, when we're playing Nib, I think that card's really important to play, but we need, like, a way to get rid of it sometimes. And that's what this is for. It
can pop your own Memento monsters or cards to trigger your effects, but it just gets rid of itself. So you can try to, like, bait out stuff with some players who knew what the cards did would like let your Fiendsmith cards resolve because they like, oh well, if he Fiendsmith combos, he can't use the horse, but you can like Fiendsmith and then Requiem equip, and then Fiendsmith send a card to grave, and then you can link into this, pop another card. This pops Nightmare Pain. The card's crazy.
It's very good.
It was a pretty last minute thing.
It definitely won me like 2 games. It won me 2 games.
It definitely like won me like 2 or 3 games flat out. And I think it is better than the card that most people play this part, which is Guardian Chimera. At least personally, Guardian Chimera was very win more, but this card actually like wins games that you would not win otherwise.
I agree.
Nice.
All right, and then
I guess real quick side deck.
So 3 of the Mulch Army guy. This card was kind of lackluster for me day 1, but day 2, this card carried me so many games.
Yeah, draw some cards.
It's very good. Everybody has to normal summon, so at the very least, you're always getting 1 card, I feel like. Usually 2. It's very good. I think it's very good. And then also, Droll. I played 5 Yubels on day 1. I wish I mained this card. But it's not super great against Snake Eyes, which is why I didn't. It's still a good card. It's just not very good against Snake Eyes right now. And then, talking about before, the Bestials, very good. Everybody's playing Fiendsmith right now. I feel like I probably should have mained this. I know a lot of people are maining them right now. But I also was like, I thought about it, but I was also like he said before, the Azalea was kind of like a last minute thing, so I was like worried about having too many bodies to conflict with the horse, but I think it would have been worth it to just main these.
Yeah, I think there's an argument for that for sure.
But they're good. Every time I saw them, they were very good. I only sided these in against Tenpai and did not see them. If I played against Runic, maybe they would have been good.
Yeah, I feel
also
like
can't tell you.
You just kind of have to. We wanted to respect Tenpai because that deck can beat you for no reason. So we just wanted something for those kind of decks, and maybe for like the mirror or something like that. It's the Fiendsmith.
And then 2 talents. This was okay for me. I kept it in going first, obviously, usually. I feel like I only saw it once, and I had ripped away like the guy's last card in his hands, and like we were in like a grind state. So I was just like basically putting him on top deck, which didn't feel super great because I was just passing back, but I don't know, it was okay.
If Yubel doesn't make Desiree, this card's really, really good against their board.
Yeah.
And not everybody has room for that card. So.
Yeah. It was fine. And then last two, I never saw this all day. In theory, it's insane.
All the cards are different.
Yeah, all the cards are different types. This we probably should have cut. I feel like the other continuous trap is enough.
It's a pop 2.
Yeah, it's a pop 2. That's the only really relevant text on it. It has like some battle phase stuff, but that's about it. But yeah, that's it.
Very nice. Well, again, congrats on top 64.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Until next time, everyone.